Morning, y'all. It is hump day. It's my day off. Got some good sleep last night. I got my coffee rolling. I actually was trying to figure out the topics for today. It just seemed like a slow night in sports. I mentioned it to JR. We were at Smoked, formerly Bingus, in Portland, getting some wings. The Jamaican jerk dry rub, pretty good. Not a lot of spice. The flavor was good, but no heat. So if you like flavor and not heat, or you're a fellow white person, go check that out. If you haven't formally or at any point been invited to the barbecue, these are not the wings for you. Okay? If you like spice, I'm sure they do spice. I just didn't venture. But anyway, that's besides the point. The point is, Smoked is good. Good wings. Just I'm used to having wings cooked by Sean down in North Carolina, a true Jamaican who just, man, it's different. Unless you know, you don't know. It's one of those, if you know, you know. So anyway, we're having wings last night, and I think like college girls volleyball was on, which I used to watch a lot in college because I was in the band, so we were at all the games. And then the Red Sox were on, and the Red Sox are officially dead, calling it. There's no more pulse on the Red Sox this season. They lost 8, I think, to 2 or 8-3 to Tampa. They're at that point where they had a chance, but they would have had to basically win out to get in. So, what a season for the Sox. It's all right. I'll still tune in until the final game. Got to listen to some Joe Castig. And so in my searching and thinking like I'm going to do a pod tomorrow, what am I going to talk about instead of just stalling for time, I found myself searching a bunch of like sports card videos. And as you can see, my YouTube feed now is like sports card, quote unquote, influencers. Although I think a lot of these folks I wouldn't consider influencers because they're more hobby enthusiasts. So their channels are mostly monetized. And you can always tell from the amount of views and the amount of subscribers, but they're not like hyping a product just to hype it. And I feel like right now when people talk about sports card influencers, it's folks who are like, oh, you got to get this Topps product, or you got to do this, you got to do that. Here's the newest thing. And they're just overhyping sometimes. Not everybody does that. And so that's why I wanted to do honest card reviews and just be like, hey, I bought these cards as a collector. I like them, or I don't like them, but I will still sell them in my shop. That was kind of my approach. And there's a ton of sports card influencers, we'll call them. There's one bucket of people who just hype everything. They're hype beasts. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If they're getting a check or they're getting some kind of something, they're getting a freebie. They're just going to speak only highly of this thing. These things, whatever they are, whatever cards. And then there's other people who they talk a little more critically. They try to give you more of a balanced approach of like, hey, here's what you can expect to get out of this box or this hobby pack or whatever. But your chances are slim, or here's the state of the the state of the hobby. Like Victor Wembanyama, for example, his cards are approaching like 500,000 grades. Like 500,000 of his cards have been graded. Sorry, I'm just watching somebody who took a minute to read the sign because we're not open today. And so I guess the point I'm getting at is there's a lot of folks who speak, and they don't even have to be negative, but they speak as honestly as they can, just being normal folks who collect cards like you and me. And of course, I'm different because I don't collect that much. I'm a business owner. I like running this business, so everything you hear from me is through the lens of how can I buy this and make money. So, and that's just honest. Like, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this is why I would buy this because I think I can profit. And then I saw a couple videos pop up on Instagram talking about here's how you can make money in the dollar bin. So I have a few problems with that. But I have let me start with the positive. Let's do, compliment sandwich. You can go to a dollar bin at a show or in a card shop, and you can find stuff, and you can technically make a profit off of it. so you can't. Like Michael Jordan cards, for example. If you find Jordan cards for $1 and they're in a top loader, first of all, the top loader's 40 cents. So that's a 60-cent card. If you're in my shop or a shop and you see a card that is on the value table or in the display, remember, we're a shop. We've already looked at the card and determined, A, it's not going to get a 10, and B, if it did get a 10 and I spent my $20 and waited my 50 plus days, it's not going to net me $100, or it's not going to be worth $100. So those are two important things to remember. So if you're at a show and you see a dollar bin, so much activity on Route 1, sorry. So if you're at a show and you're looking through the dollar bin and you see Michael Jordan cards, and it's like, wow, $1 for all these. If you own a shop like me, you can buy a dollar Jordan and flip it for $4 to $5 in the shop. It happens all the time. Such a hot seller. People don't have access to go to shows all the time or the time to go to shows. And so if they come in your shop and you have them presented nicely in clean top loaders, yeah, you can make $2 to $4 a card, I would say. If you own a shop, okay, there's a lot of expenses into owning a shop and rent, and I don't need to go into that, but you get it. If you're privileged enough and you're a shop owner, dollar bins are the place to be for you because you can clean up and flip that money. Now, if you are a solo person, way harder to sell Jordans for $4 to $5 if you don't have a shop or you're not going to shows and pounding the pavement every year. Because I figure, and this is not to deter somebody from doing it if you got the time. If you're a collector and you have enough money to invest in some cards and get moving and hit all the shows, I mean, like, you're doing this every day. This is your full-time career. I think confidently you could make low six figures. Like, you could make $100,000 in a year. I'm not saying that's your profit, but I think you can earn that money. Like, that would be your income, your personal income, for just doing shows and just being a card dealer. That's so much time. I mean, that's way more than 80. That's it's like 50 to 70 hours a week to make $100,000. So that's my opinion. You think you can make more? Hey, knock yourself out. But I see a lot of folks at shows with all the stuff, and I'm just thinking, how are you going to profit? You sunk a lot of money into all this product, and I don't see the profit margin for you. But you know what? That's between you and your bank and your creator. But anyway, the first point was, if you own a shop and you go to the dollar bin and you get Jordans and you think you can sell them for $4 to $5, yes, you can, especially if they look nice, if they look near mint. If you own a shop. If you don't, it's very hard. The other thing is, and I saw somebody posting, like, look at what these all went for at a 10. It is so unlikely you are going to get a 10 from a card in the dollar bin. Of course, it's not impossible. Anything is possible. But yeah, it's highly, highly unlikely. And so again, full transparency, if you see a card in here raw and you're wondering why I'm selling it at the price I'm selling it at, A, I will have a note on the card if there's something wrong with it. If corner, crease, scratch, I let you know. Or if there is no notes, it's off center, we can just look at the card. We look at them under a 30 loop, sometimes a microscope, to determine that near mint to mint, best case scenario, you're going to get an 8. And we didn't send it off because we didn't want to spend the $20 and wait the 50 days or so with PSA to get it back and then not make at least $50 to $60 profit, which means the card would have needed to be $100. So that's how I think about the cards in here. And so to these people who've been making these videos, to their point, I just disagree that you're going to get a card for $1 and make over 100 because you're going to get a 10. You're not going to get a 10. You're not. You're just not. I guess maybe I have really good eyesight and I can tell, but I want to be proven wrong, because if that was the case, I would just be buying out people's card tables. I'd be like, what are these dollar cards? I'll make you the best offer. Give me all the cards. If that was like a free cash machine, believe me, I would be doing it. So that's something I see because it's like a very clickbaity title. Like, let me show you how to make make profit at the dollar table. It's not completely wrong. It's pretty misleading though. I don't agree with that, because again, you're hearing this through the lens of I'm a shop owner. I'm only in this to make money. It's fun. Okay, I'm not only in this to make money, because I can make money a lot of different ways and make more. But I am in a business. It's a for-profit business, and I'm telling you, as a shop, if you go to a dollar table and you think you're going to flip it into 100,000 or whatever profit, it's not going to happen for you. Now, the great thing about the value tables and the dollar bins is you can get the cards that you want at a great price instead of having to rip packs and boxes. Or you can get Jordans for $1 because you like me, I like Jordan or Kobe. If you're finding these cards for $1, that's awesome. But you're not going to put them through the grading process and get 10s. That's pie in the sky. That's a pipe dream. That's not happening. And if, let's say, for some weird reason it is, it's not going to happen all the time. There's going to be off-center. There's going to be issues. They're in the dollar bin for a reason. I mean, one, they're plentiful. So even if it is a perfect 10, you're going to get, what, a $20 card. It's going to turn out to be a $20 card. Guess what? You spent $20 getting it graded. Or let's say you get a deal and it's $15.99 plus the shipping. I mean, you're not making any money. You're just, and then we're not even factoring in time. How much time does it take to do this? I also tell a lot of folks, like, because we send cards out for people and we charge $15 per card as our service fee, because we look at the card, we package them, we take on the risk in addition to whatever PSA charges. And I say oftentimes, hey, I don't think this is going to get an 8 or above. Save your money. But then sometimes the customer will say, you know what, I just want to get it graded because I want to have it in a slab. And that's perfectly fine. I just like to let people know, hey, in my expertise and my general manager, in our combined, over 40 years of collecting, 40, 50, I mean, a lot of time. And individually, each of us has been on eBay for 20 plus years. So in our vast real world experience, you don't have to send everything to grade. But if you want to, just to have it in a slab, I will totally do that for you. So I felt like I needed to say all of that because I just see a lot of people with the classic, you can get these in the dollar bin, and then flashing the pictures of, this was a PSA 10 sold for price on eBay. And the number of times I saw the sold price with the one bid, come on now. That's a shill bid. Come on now. You know better than to post a picture with one bid. Come on. Come on now. Or like 3 bids. If that's a hot card, I think it's like a dozen plus bids. And that's not a hard and fast rule. Just saying, let's put some common sense into this. If all these pictures of these Jordan 10s selling in the hundreds for on eBay with one bid, that ain't it, boss. That's not real. Don't sell the pipe dream. Not saying that you can't get lucky once in a while, and you shouldn't look through the dollar bins, because I love doing that, and you do find deals. But the leap from a dollar bin to a 10, getting over $100, whew, that's you're gonna be chasing that dragon your whole life. That's my opinion. I would love to be proven wrong, as always. That would be great, because then I would just be scooping up every card. Okay, I've talked enough about that. I have stuff to do today because it's my day off, and meeting up with some friends, hitting the beach, finishing my coffee. Although I have a coffee date soon, so I guess I shouldn't be drinking coffee, but I needed it to get through the show. So that's our show for today. Not a lot of fun things on the side here, but these are some of the videos that I watch. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all be good, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.